Need a bath. Oh, I'm loving it. Oh. Just class that as. Just to recap, it's the next morning. So on another video.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, God bless. I know, probably, highly likely, the last mic on Monday I'm going to do. I know I've not been consistent with these. I've just been busy, you know. Well, you've probably seen from our Sunday videos, I've been in a race. I feel as if I've been racing, and because I know that I'm not 100%, you know, so I've been racing to get the house to a point, you know, our renovation. November 2024 was when we moved in, and basically we've not stopped since. You know, it's full on 7 days a week. We've taken days off Christmas, although we made videos at Christmas, of course. You know, they were quite well, actually, did quite well in terms of this small channel. But we've never stopped. Now, we did, when I had my prostate cancer operation, I had no choice other than to stop. But of course Cheryl didn't. She had me to look after when I got home, apart from all the visits she had to do with Kerry, my daughter. So we've been full on with the house. Difficult to plan when you're in amongst things, you know. Anyway, why do I mention all of that? Why do I say probably the last one? Well, so I'm going to put some clips up while I'm chatting to you, and I want to show you what there is left for me to do. Now, what I mean by that is that I tend to do the sort of joinery, general DIY stuff, and Cheryl does the paint and decorating. And she's very good at paper hanging, just by the way, as you might have seen off previous videos. But I can't do that. I can't paint. I just throw it everywhere, and that's this blooming tremor driving me mad. Anyway, so, you know, I've got the ceiling to do in our bedroom. Me and Cheryl have got the ceiling to do. That involves steps, you know, climbing up steps and down steps. I mentioned that for a reason. But that's a job that I can physically do. Other little jobs to do, and I do mean little jobs really, is I've got, I found a way around this boarding of the wall at the top of the stairs where I took the glass out. And I am going to board it with now a 12mm MDF. I will show you, you'll see that on one of our Sunday videos. I'm going to record that now, how I'm doing it. I'm not happy with the finish on that at all. And you know you have to be. When you're doing this sort of work, you've got, well, you've got three choices. Get somebody in to do it. And that costs you money. And it's expensive. Labour, of course, is expensive now. And, you know, professional people whose job it is to do what you're trying to do, They're expensive, of course they are. You would expect that. So you've that choice. The other choice is to do the very best job that you can, even though it might take you 5 times longer to do it, you know. Or you can make a bad job of it and just do it, skim over things, as they say. What I've found is that my approach is changing. I'm tending to think, just get it done, just get it done. And that's because I just feel like I'm in a race to get my stuff done so that I can sit down. Yeah. I laugh only because everybody keeps saying sit down, Mike. Well, you know, looks like I'm not going to have much of a choice. I'll come back to that. Nothing seriously wrong, just by the way. Let's not make this into one of those channels where it's all leave you in jeopardy and get all excited about saying good morning, how are you, dude? You know, we don't do that. It's probably the one of the few real channels, you know, on YouTube that we've spotted anyway. I'm sure that's it. It just feels that way. Anyway, we are always real. We'll show you it as it is, and we talk normal, you know. Where was I going with all of that? Yeah, so I'm going to put you some clips up. Ceiling in our bedroom, that follows the leak we had in the roof. We had the roof fixed. It looks like it is fixed. A good test over the winter. I will go up in the loft, have a look, make sure everything's as it should be, that we haven't got any leaks at all, you know. And I've got to clear away all the insulation. It's insulation wall up there. Clear that away from where I'm going to take the ceiling down in our bedroom and then replace it. Of course, me and Cheryl will do that. So I've got that. That's quite a major job. The wardrobe in our bedroom that I built a year or so ago, that needs finishing. That's part of decorating that room. And there's a fair bit to do decorating-wise. That's not so bad. Cheryl's, not wardrobe walls, doors in her sort of sewing room, come office, dressing room. They want doing. You'll see me and Cheryl have a go at those, finish off the frame, put the doors on. And then that room is for Cheryl to decorate, as is our bedroom. The small bedroom, third bedroom, where I built that bed and the headboard and everything, that just wants decorating, you know. New carpet, but decorating. Bathroom's done. We had that done professionally, of course, plumbers. And we had the lad in who did a lot of tiling for us, timber work, put some lintels in. That feels like a year ago, certainly over last year. So anyway, that's done. Stairs and landing. Now you'll see I started to put some lining paper on. There are areas that I just couldn't reach, and I'm stretching all the time, going up and down steps. Built that bit of scaffolding where I'm balancing on what is a 9-inch piece of timber, piece of oak, and just balancing takes a lot of doing, you know. One, because of my tremor, my left hip's buggered. Yeah, and reaching up. So I can't actually hold on to anything to keep my balance. I've got, you know, tools to sort out, drill, that sort of thing. So that's took it out of me a little bit. What else have I got to do? Well, you'll see the threshold as you go from the utility into the downstairs toilet that we had put in, and I did the work, and then Cheryl decorated it. I've that to put down, that's an easy job. And in the utility, there's the doors and drawers to level out, that's a Cheryl job. But there's also the big fridge freezer in there, which we're wrapping up, putting into the garage. That's going to Jake, Cheryl's lad, a good lad. I say lad, he's 25, I think, buying his own property soon. Fingers crossed for him. Anyway, that's going to go to him. So of that to move, we've got a new freezer, exactly the same as the one we've already got. They'll stand alongside each other. And one will be, and this is my thing, one is for Cheryl's sort of food. Now, she eats well, you know, proper food. And then there's the other side of stuff, which is Willow's fresh food, which is mostly chicken. And then there's my type of food, whatever, fastish food, I guess you'd say. And quick meals, because if I need to eat, because of my type 2 diabetes, tell you I'm falling a bit, then I can pull some out there, stick it in the microwave, get it eaten. Yeah. I know. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about my type 2 diabetes. What I'm finding, and I think it's because I'm getting older. When I first started the project, this house, I should say, renovating the house, I could work all day, heavy, intense work, taking floor ups, walls down, building walls, all sorts, you know. And I would often have what they call a hypo, where my blood sugars drop. And we managed it a bit better. But now what I'm finding is, as much as I'm trying to manage these hypos, it's not working, you know. I can have a cup of tea and biscuits, go back to it, and find that my blood sugars are dropping within an hour. So I think that's just an age thing, if I'm honest. But anyway. What else have I got left to do? Well, I've got the garden to do, such as it is. You'll have seen way back on another video, me and Cheryl, I think it was, 2 tons of gravel we put down. And there's another 3 tons of gravel, plus some stepping stones. That's easy enough. I'll enjoy doing that. I've got the garage to empty, really, most of everything that's in the garage, and you can see it's in a right mess, you know. That's only because I've been busy doing the house. But I've got the garage to empty. Most of that will go into this big green shed at the bottom of the garden, because the days of me needing, a garage as a workshop are more or less finished, really, you know. Other than this big MDF board I've got to cut. So I want to empty the garage, sort out the green shed, and then leave the garage more or less empty. I might leave the little bench in with my crosscut saw, just in case, because the crosscut saw is really useful. You know, it saves me standing and sawing a bit of wood. So, with regards to the property, I've got the kickboards in the kitchen to do. I suppose there's about 50 small jobs to do, quite light, heavy, so I can take my time over, you know. And I say that for good reason, and I mentioned it feels like I'm in a race, and it's one of those where I've been thinking to myself, you need to get the house done because your health is going downhill, or you might just be getting older, you know? And so you're not going to be able to do it at some point. But I want to get my stuff done. So what I've been doing is piling the pressure on myself and gone back to doing stuff DIY every day, heavy stuff, so that I can get the house done, so that I can rest. And I don't, well, yeah, it feels right that that's what I've been doing. Because if I said to myself, take your time, do it over the next 6 months, I don't feel that in 6 months' time or over that 6 months period, I'd always be able to do it. And in any case, I'm of the thought that if I stop doing what I'm doing and take a week off here, whatever it might be, I won't be able to get back up and get on and get it done. I'm putting weight on, which isn't helping. So despite all the activity, I'm putting weight on. So I felt like I'm in a race to get it done, and I still do. I still feel like I'm in a race to get it done. Not sure that I am, but I'm going to get it done. So I guess that's where I'm up to with the house. So what next then? I'll explain. But just before I go on to what next, you might be wondering, well, what really has brought all this on? Me chatting to you, that is. I've two things. I do want to get the house done, but I've been having pains in my legs. Not ordinary pain. I'm not really one for pain. It don't bother me that much. I think I've said that before. Now, I've had bad toothache. I'm bad, I've been in the hospital with one of my teeth about, it was about 10 years ago. Time flies. And they drilled and removed an abscess off my tooth. Well, my gum, of course. My goodness, that took some doing. Midnight they did it with a doctor and a nurse, and it felt like the world had ended when they actually did the procedure. That was bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 10. Anyway, the pains in my legs, they're like cramps, mostly in my right leg, which is odd because it's my left leg that has the joint problem in my hip. Anyway, it's really bad. Wakes me up 2 or 3 times a night. And when I say wakes me up, it's agony. And I have to get out of bed, stand up, and eventually the pain goes, but it leaves like a knot in my calf. That's why there's certain jobs I can't do anymore. I can't go up the steps and that sort of thing. Anyway, enough of that. So, what next? Well, as I say, got my domestic stuff to do. I can use the washing machine now. That's great. Yeah. And all the other usual stuff, I still have bits and bobs to do. Because we've got the van clip coming up. That needs a fair bit of attention. I'm still in 2 minds about keeping the van. Worth mentioning this, and I do mention it, Cheryl working 8 till 5 every day, apart from Saturday, Sunday. Saturday is their DIY day. And we were just talking about this, or at least I was talking to Cheryl about it. when I've finished my bits and bobs that I've got to do, Cheryl would have just about 8 months worth of Saturdays to get the house decorated. And I don't want to work in every Saturday, decorating, painting. Apart from which she's got life, we do have Sundays off best we can. And there's other things which we should be doing, Move the camera a little bit. Yeah, like enjoying ourselves, going out now and again for a day out or something, So the discussions we're having is, well, what is it that she can do with me helping best I can going forward? And what sort of work should we bring a contractor in for? And for instance, hallway stairs and landing, they'll need decorating, finished decorating, wallpaper, fancy stuff. Yeah, I certainly feel, and I think Cheryl will, that should be done by a professional decorator. One thing, we haven't got the equipment to reach high, and that would mean Cheryl getting on a scaffolding board, and I don't think that'll happen. She will want to do her dressing room, 100%. She will want to finish the small jobs off, like the utility wants a bit of paint, kitchen needs painting, but there's all the tiling in there to do. I'm not sure that she should do that. Our bedroom need decorating. I think what me and Cheryl will do is get it all prepped, then get somebody in to hang finishing wallpaper. Yeah, so there's still plenty for us to do over this coming year. But of course, our Sunday videos, which were mostly Cheryl chatting to you, and me chatting to you, loads of DIY going on, from both of us. They're going to change, of course, because there isn't that much to do. I'm contradicting myself a little bit. There's a lot to do. But you're not going to watch Cheryl paint a wall, if you see what I mean. That's of very little interest. But there are still lots and bits and bobs to do. So I'm not quite sure where things will go with me and how much I've left to do, although I am making a plan. And as I say, 3 weeks, I think. Not every day, every other day, me finishing the jobs around the house. Maybe 4 weeks. Yeah. One of the other things I have to do, I say have to, I feel that I want to, is that I think in May this year, I'll have been with my professional institute. Somebody mentioned in the comments when I was removing the glass, I think Mike's got a background in safety, I do. But with regards to the professional institute I'm a member of, at the highest grade, there's only about 500 people in the world have the grade. I didn't get it for doing DIY, by the way. It's a very different job. Nevertheless, that's in May. But what I have to do, what and others like me, we have to do something called CPD. At the end of the day, it means we have to do activities to keep our professional status, continuing professional development, CPD. You've got to do 30 hours a year. Doesn't sound a lot, but it is, you know. So in order for me to keep my professional membership, I've got about 20 hours still to do between now and May. And I came up with a cunning plan. What I'm going to do is, it will take me 30 hours to get 3 hours worth of videos to do some teaching in that subject. I quite enjoy that. I used to teach a lot 30 years ago, and then I moved into industry and all sorts. But so I'm going to make 3 hours worth of videos to watch by my peers and apprentices, people new to the profession, and those who might be thinking of joining the profession. I won't be putting them on this channel. Unless you're really interested in that subject, you wouldn't want to watch. So they will go on a different channel, and specifically, I will put the link to that channel on LinkedIn, not on this channel. That's because on LinkedIn I have about 7,000 followers, specifically for safety. That's took 30 years, just by the way. So I've got that to do, and then I'll keep my professional membership at least till May, and that's my 30 years service, as it were. I don't get anything for it, you know, but it's something I feel I want to do. I want to leave the profession on a high, you know. If you don't do CPD, just by the way, they remove your professional status, and I don't want to do that in my last year. You'll remember that we spoke about me and Cheryl making a decision as to whether or not I will actually retire, and we will make that decision in January. Well, we have. I am retiring as such. It means I won't be looking for work in my... and that's okay, we've made that decision. The thing is, you see, for me to work, I need the professional status that my professional body gives to me. If I don't have it, I can't build that up again for about 3 years, at which point I'll be 70. I don't want to do that. So the decision was to leave my professional body in January. Well, I'm going to do it in May, but only to leave on the high, as it were. Yeah, I'm basically retiring, that's what I'm saying. I'm not searching for work. Yeah, that's the simplest thing to say, isn't it? So why then am I making this the last mic on Monday? Well, I will have more time on my hands moving forward, but I think I've done, you know, I think I said what I wanted to say. Some good memories. I got some great comments, and thanks for people who watched them and commented, and, you know, using your words, that you found them interesting. I thought I was good. I've very little else to say on the subject, really. I spoke about my childhood, my health, my work, you know, not much more to tell, to be honest. And other than me on a Monday saying I washed up, hoovered, you know. So yeah, that's why really this is the last mic on Monday. So I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you've enjoyed this chat. You'll see us every Sunday moving forward. You know, Cheryl's channel that, we changed the logo and music. I thought it was really good. I don't know what you thought of it, let me know. They'll still be coming out every Sunday. They'll change a bit as the certainly spring summer comes on, because I'm hoping we have days out. We're going to Scarborough first week of February for a couple of days, I think it is. We'll see. Cheryl wants to see her friends. She's got dog walking friends in Scarborough, and I fancy the day out, so yeah, so yeah, you'll still see a lot of us, and particularly Cheryl, on the Sunday videos as usual, but Mike on Monday. Yeah, finished really. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed them. Let me know what you think of, well, this video. Let me know what you think of the music and logo. We like it, but everybody's different. Yeah, keep subscribed. A lot happening. Keep commenting. We love to read them. We don't always get to answer, but we do our best. You'll also notice that I like your comments. I don't know if you know it's me, but I'm liking them as I read them. So yeah, good. All right, I'll see you on Sunday. In the meantime, take care. Bye for now. Scruffy, not mucky. Paint, glue and all sorts. That's 1 year. Lasted well, really. Bin. Now these have lasted a year. Done everything in these. Bin. Job done. Just there.
I'm loving it.
Just recap, it's the next morning.
So on another video,